right, you ready to knock into this thing?
Yeah, man.
What do you think? All right.
Sounds good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. I have a wonderful guest with me today, Mr. Josh Tillman, a.k.a. Radio Jane. Little applause for him. Let's hear it. How you doing, Josh?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having
Glad
me.
to have you. Very glad to have you. You're on the top of my list when I made the podcast. I was like, man, you know who I like talking music? Josh.
Oh, thanks, man. I do too, man. I love it. We always get into good conversation about
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it's too easy. It's too easy, you know?
It just flows right out. Yeah.
And so before we get started, let's go ahead and tag our Instagrams. What's your name on Instagram, Josh? I'll get you some followers out there.
Should be Radio Jane Music. No
I love that
spaces.
name, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Radio Jane's really original, unexpected. I figured you just do Josh Tillman, but
Well, it's already taken, you know.
Oh, is it?
Father John Misty. His real
okay.
name is Josh Tillman. Yeah,
Okay.
and so he did some folk
did I say
music.
John?
Hmm?
Did I say John?
No, you said Josh. No, you got it. No.
I was like,
But-
oh fuck! Hope I
yeah.
didn't butcher his name at the start.
No, Father John Misty is named Josh Tillman, and he put out some folk work before he became Father John
Yeah.
Misty as Jay Tillman.
Oh,
And so for me, it was just a little too close.
I
for
like
comfort,
Radio
so.
Jane. I heard it, and I was like, Radio James. That has a nice ring to it. I was like, damn it, you beat me to it.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, man. My Instagram is at Jameson Tank 27. If you want to tag along, we have the video going this week. Say hello. Be a video. If you're on the YouTube, you can see the little studio action we got going.
Yeah, it looks
And
great.
we're just gonna talk some music. So you recently put out a single, what, 2 months ago? 3?
It was May 1st, so I guess a little over 3.
Okay, it's
yeah.
mid-quarantine, kind of, sort of, right?
Yeah.
And it went really well, didn't it? I really
So
enjoyed
far,
it. It's great.
yeah.
It sounds very Are the drums live? I feel like they are. Did you play it together, like drums and acoustic or something?
I did all of it
Uh-huh.
from just layering it, multi-tracking. So
Okay.
I just
You
started
play
with
drums?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yep.
when I heard it, or I've just listened to it a couple times, you know, but it sounded like it started slower. I was like, man, I wonder if he's playing this live with a drummer. That's really impressive, though.
No click.
Oh,
And
really?
just
Okay.
me sitting down and playing the drums, humming the song in my head.
Man, that's awesome,
And
dude.
then I just layer acoustic guitar. And
Yeah.
then there's 12-string electric. There's slide guitar. Bass.
You can pretty much play everything, can't you?
I hope so. I think so.
I think you can, yeah.
We'll see if everybody agrees.
That's cool that you did it with no click. Like, I've never tried that, no click, just drums. I bet that was tough. Was it?
Well, that's the only way I've been doing it since I
Yeah.
started recording. But
Yeah.
the thing I will say is I like it better because that's how they did it back at vintage.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
I mean, that's
analog.
yeah, and it has a different sound because by the end of the song, you're faster than when you started.
You always are, man. It's
But that's
crazy.
how all these old records sound that I listen to,
Yeah.
and I like song. It's like John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin had a good quote where he said he hates click tracks because he said, I think is what he said, because Stairway to Heaven should not be the same tempo all the way through.
Yes. It
And
has
by
that
the end of the
huge
song,
energy. Yeah.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
speeding up, and I'm just thinking that's always been my that really resonated
Mantra.
with me. Yeah, I
That's
don't
awesome.
use a click, so
I love that. That's really cool, and it's so accurate because I made like a whole EP to a click, and then when I got a band when I came to Athens, I started recording
yeah.
like live. We did one song live at Chase Park. I was like, this is a completely different feel. There's something different. There's something special about it when it comes together, playing it live.
The magic sense of just musicians playing and working together. They're not all like a slave to this little beeping in their
Absolutely,
headphones.
yes. And it's honestly really hard to keep everything on the click. Like the song, it takes a lot longer. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? If
yeah.
you just track it live, like you just go with it and you have a feel, you know?
Yep.
And that's nice. Not to be said that there isn't a time for some click. I like a click track every now and then.
It depends what you're doing. Yeah, I'd say there's some people that
I definitely, like when I'm away from my drum or something, because I don't play drums,
Mhm.
I'll click track it and like do the acoustic to a click and then send it to him, you know, just so everything works out right.
Well,
But-
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Is if you are doing it like guitar first and sending it to a drummer, you need a click because
Gotcha.
otherwise it's going to be hectic. But if you start with drums
That's
first,
true. Very true.
you can just do
I
whatever.
never
the
thought
drummer
about doing
does.
it like that until you just said that. That's really interesting. Because I definitely have an appreciation too for those records. You know, the Stones and everything. You can feel it moving. You know what I mean?
Man,
You can
the
feel it
feel
moving
is
around.
the feel is the best.
Yeah,
thing
it's
about
fantastic,
those
man.
records.
It's untouchable. Yes. Let's see. So you've been playing. You were originally a drummer. Is that right?
Well, I started playing guitar as a kid, and I like 7. You know, I picked
Okay.
up drums.
That's pretty early.
At 12, bass after that, keyboards,
Uh-huh.
piano, writing songs. So
Yeah.
I've never been able to be in a band because I've just never. I always played as a drummer
Yeah.
because people always need.
It's
a
an easy
drummer.
job. Yeah.
And I was always frustrated because I wanted to play, my own music.
Absolutely,
I wanted to play
everybody
my own
does.
songs and,
Yeah.
and sing and stuff or play lead, and everybody wants to play lead.
Everybody.
you know.
Yeah.
But finally I was like, man, I'm just making these demos, like playing it all by myself, and I'm like, why don't I just do that? Like I might as well
Why
instead
don't
of
I
having
just do
to
me?
just
Yes.
somebody reinterpret what I've already
Yes.
done.
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Oh my gosh. Like, obviously drummers are needed everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
like strongly. So it's easy to get a job doing that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But like, when I started playing, I just played guitar for probably a good 6, 7 years before I even started singing. I was just like, I'm writing all these songs. I fucking love them. And like, am I gonna be able to hand this over to somebody and be like, yo, you do this justice? You know what I mean? Kind of. Does that make sense?
Exactly. No, I totally understand.
And it's like I use this quote. I was like, man, maybe the only person I want to hear sing them is me.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. I'm like, just honestly, you know what I mean? Like it just came down to that. I was like, I'd rather just do it myself. But yeah, I know what you mean. So you got any plans to do shows and whatnot? Well, actually, before we get there, you said you're working on more songs this summer, right?
Yeah,
What else should we expect out of you? What's it sounding like? Give me a little sneak peek.
during the quarantine, of course, everyone's home. I was home at my parents' house.
Yeah.
They live around in Fayetteville, if you ever, Peachtree City area.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I was home doing that, and I had nothing to do, and I couldn't get hired because no one was hiring. Just like as a, to work at Kroger, I couldn't even get a job. But I just started recording like basic tracking and stuff and getting all of it done. And so far, I have 9 songs, which I think I'm done.
Album.
That's an album.
That's a big album, man.
I'm planning to go get it mixed and do the vocals and stuff and finish it up. Hopefully, have it out by late fall.
Oh yeah, man, that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. We'll see where it goes.
What are the tracks sounding like? They all pretty universal. They all have a universal theme, or is it just 9 tracks? I've never been able to make a universal theme all the way through a project. But that's just me.
There's bands I love that do that, like Pink Floyd, of course. You've got your thematic albums of deep concepts, and then you have just collections of great songs. I'm not sure where it's gonna go yet.
To be determined.
To be determined.
Yeah,
I've got it separated into side A and side B.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know that.
I love the cover art on your single, dude.
Oh, thanks,
that's
man.
Sweet. Where'd you get that from? Like, is it something you saw, like the tape head thing? And
no, I made. So that's another thing is I took. I like doing, obviously vintage or whatever. I mixed my record to tape, which would like to be doing again.
I've done that too.
Always great. Yeah. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And the whole vintage, I'm just like obsessed with vintage analog stuff. So I decided for a cover art, I was like, man, I want to make like a 45 single.
Yeah.
So an actual single label. So I actually all like homegrown took a like 45 vinyl record I have and took some like scrapbook paper with my mom actually. And we cut it, we designed it, whatever, taped it on there, scanned it, and then I used like Photoshop,
Oh yeah, man. It looks really cool. It looks so legit. I was like, damn, I wonder is he basing this off something? I was like, damn, it looks just like a record from the 60s or something.
If I could have been around in the 60s putting my records out, this is basically what I would want. So that's how I'm trying to live my life.
Yes, I've always wanted to make a record, and like, even though it's a digital record, and it probably wouldn't be on vinyl, or it would eventually, but like I've always wanted to have like the needle drop at the start of my song. And then like at the end of the record, it come off,
I've actually done that.
You've done that?
Yep.
Damn it!
I've actually done it, man. It's funny. I can't believe you just said that because I was like, oh my god, I have to say I did that. Otherwise, you're gonna think I stole your idea when my album comes out.
When it drops.
Yeah, because I'm doing like a side A, side B thing.
That's awesome. So song 1 is gonna go.
Yeah, and then end of side 1, and then I'm gonna be putting hopefully 2 EPs out.
That's awesome, man.
That is really one record, but
okay, side A, side B. Is that how you're gonna do it?
Separated, I believe so.
That's a really cool idea. Damn, I hate you beating me to that. I might do it anyway. I like the little static sound when the needle drops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the little crackling and stuff.
Yeah, you need to put that in there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it's it's not just mine idea. Obviously there's records all over the place that have been done since the beginning of time. So
facts. Do you collect vinyl? You vinyl guy?
Yeah,
me too.
I'm a vinyl guy.
Yeah. What kind of record player do you have? Do you have an automatic one, or you have to drop it?
I got an automatic. It's a Sony that I got. I got an old. Then I inherited an old Sony stereo, like vintage stereo from my grandparents, which was like I was so excited with that. So it sounds warm and bassy, and my roommates hate me.
Yeah, my dad gave me all his old vinyl because he just doesn't listen to him anymore, and it was like just heaven. It still is, you know what I mean? It's like 150 records. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome.
No, it's the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the finding your favorite record at I go to Wuxtry all the time.
Yeah, I love Wuxtry.
Logo Yo and whatever in town, and it's just every time I walk in, it's like going to Disney World.
Oh man,
For
I love
me.
it. And then I look at the same ones kind of every time, and sometimes I don't buy them, but I'm like, damn, it's just cool to look at this one.
Yeah.
It's like, man, just freaking awesome. I like speaking of record stores in Athens, I like is it called Low Yo-Yo? I thought it was just
Yeah.
called Yo-Yo.
I think it's Low Yo-Yo. Yeah, next
Might
to
be
a
right.
clock, do you mean?
Yeah, I like that one because they have a bunch of like promotional records. Have you seen that?
Yeah, like promo copies.
Yeah, they've got like a bunch of weird copies. You know
Yep.
what I mean? More than Wuck Street, but
Or
Wuck Street
bootlegs
has,
and stuff.
yeah, stuff like that. Like they have I was there last week and they had like Van Halen, like Pretty Woman, the single, and it was like not for sale. You know what I mean? Promotional
Yeah,
copy,
DJ
Warner
copy,
Brothers.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, like that's so cool. And like singles and A sides and stuff, and you know what I mean, or just 2 songs.
Just A and B.
And,
Yeah.
They're a little more expensive than Wuck Street, but it's pretty good. Pretty good.
They're cool, and they have some very niche things like
Yeah.
box sets of bands you like on vinyl. They all of a sudden
Yeah,
just came
that's
out
cool.
like weird things, or like my favorite band is Big Star. If you ever heard of Big Star,
I've heard of them.
and they pressed like 500 copies of all 3 of their records on
Really?
cassettes in like a
Yeah.
little like box set.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like 500 copies, and behind the counter they have one. And it's
Really?
like I always look at. I don't have a cassette deck because I
That's
just
what I
don't
was
have one.
gonna
But I
ask.
want one so bad.
Are you onto cassettes at all? You don't have any?
I have a cassette player in that stereo. Like it's like
I know
a
what you
rack,
mean.
you know,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only thing that doesn't work. The CD players work, and I'm not really a CD guy.
I'm not a CD guy.
I'm a
right now.
vinyl guy, and,
Yeah.
and obviously just Spotify.
I just got back into the cassette thing, or not back into it, but like I was looking for a Walkman, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched a movie. I think it was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High or something. He was wearing
Great
a fucking Walkman, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. I was like, shit, I'd wear that shit around and listen to
Hell
something.
yeah.
So I got me one, but the real ones are like fucking $200. So I got me an off-brand one,
Yep.
and got my mom's cassette. So I've been listening. I actually bought a cassette at Low Yo-Yo the other day. The cassettes are really cheap. You know, they don't sound as good to
Oh
me,
yeah.
but like they're
can
like
get 'em for cheap,
$3.
though.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
yeah.
can get like a really cool little record for $3, and I think that's cool.
Very cool.
I kind of wanted to like. Have you noticed that like well, vinyl's definitely doing better than CDs now, don't you think?
Oh,
Seems like
100%,
yeah,
yeah.
like almost. I've wondered about doing like I've seen bands in Athens doing vinyl runs. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Especially like Kindercore.
Yeah,
and these
they seem
places
really
you can
cool.
press and stuff.
Yeah.
I love
I'm trying
that.
to find somewhere that'll do it for like a reasonable rate. Like I don't expect to make money on them or anything, but like I'd like to get like 50. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants you to do big numbers, and I'm like, dude, I don't.
You gotta do
I don't-
500 or 1,000.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I can't sell 500 pieces of vinyl, man. Not
Yeah.
yet.
No, I
But,
get that. I've thought about if I had just taking my whole savings account, blowing it, and just for my own personal, just to play
Just to
my
drop
own
it.
vinyl
Yes.
record of my own album. How egotistical is that?
Nah.
Just spending $3,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't it be so sweet though to have your own on vinyl?
It would be fantastic.
It really would.
I think that's the ultimate geeked out for me about being vinyl and vintage and whatever.
I'm here for it because I'm the same way. And there's different ways you can do it. I know, like, have you ever heard of what's the band name? The Orange Constant.
Yeah.
They're doing a vinyl run, and they're doing it like
I saw that.
You saw? Okay.
They have to order a certain
yeah,
amount to get it
that's
pressed.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool way to do it.
I like that a lot. It's like
I wonder-
crowdfunding.
Yeah, I wonder what the minimum is though. I don't know. I just
think they
don't
had
see
100.
myself selling 100 vinyl records
100,
pre-order. You know what I mean? That's a lot.
That is a lot.
But
Yeah, I couldn't do that either.
not yet, my dude. Not yet. Give it time. I've
Hope
done the
so.
CDs thing. I have CDs made, but like that's more of like a just to sell at shows. If somebody like me, they just want to like buy something just to
Right.
buy, which is cool. I don't really expect anybody to listen to CD. I mean, I have CDs in my car. I don't like go out of my way to buy them anymore though.
Yeah, I don't even have a CD player in my car anymore.
Really?
Nope.
Okay.
I got a car. I didn't have one. It was
Yeah?
weird. Yeah.
Well, we kind of lived through. I guess we're the CD generation. Do you remember buying CDs? I remember when we
Oh,
were
totally.
kids. Yeah, it was definitely in and iTunes and all that stuff when you had to buy a single for $1.29. I talk about this all the time.
I was an iTunes kid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were
Crazy
the
iTunes
last.
kid.
We were the last physical. You know what I mean? It's never
Yep.
gonna happen again. CDs was the last new thing physically, but vinyl's coming back and that's cool.
I love it. I'm
Yeah.
excited because I like you said always with the digital, and I didn't really buy CDs after I was a young kid.
Mhm.
When I got like an iPod and could buy
Absolutely.
get iTunes gift cards, $50 and just buy
Yes.
whatever I wanted. Once I started cultivating a digital library through middle school and high school, there's just no physicalness until I
Absolutely.
started doing vinyl. But now I have Spotify, of course, but like.
Mhm.
I like the ability that I can go buy new records, and
It's
it's
true.
started to become a thing. It's not even just like yard sales. I mean, it's like,
Uh-huh.
like you said, new bands putting out new music
Yeah, that's cool.
on vinyl. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have a physical era. We
yeah,
all are,
for
you know?
sure. I think so because like you see the big artists, they're doing huge vinyl runs with like different colors and limited editions and shit.
Yeah,
So maybe it'll come back, kind of. Well, it's kind of already back, but still. What was I gonna say?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. You've been in a couple bands, haven't you? How many bands have you been in Athens?
Oh man, good amount. I played
Yeah.
around with random things. I started playing drums like mainly in bands. I
Mhm.
think the first band I got to play in was, do you know Nikki Nanconi?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Yep,
do.
I
She's very
played
nice.
drums. Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
great musician, great person. Played in her band for a little bit. Played drums. I played for Ashley Walls
Oh yeah, I remember.
drums.
I knew that you played with her.
Yep.
She's super nice as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. How
she
was that
is.
gig? You guys play a lot?
It's good. Yeah, we played. I actually got a lot of gigs.
Yeah, that's
With
always
both those
great.
bands when I was starting to play around Athens, that were like we played the rooftops or the
Yeah,
theater,
yeah,
played
that's
40
awesome.
Watt. I think for like a Vinyl Biscuit Records showcase,
Uh-huh.
you know, like little pieces of the things that kind of helped me go, oh, okay, here's
Uh-huh.
playing live. Like here's the
Here's the
deal.
taste of it.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
it's definitely a learned trait, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
definitely
100%.
tough. Have you ever sang live or did you sing
I would
any?
sing backup,
Yeah.
like harmony and stuff. And one or two times at a gig, I got to sing a song if
Yeah.
we had like time to fill, I guess. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it
See,
was weird.
yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Mhm.
It took me a little while to figure out that like singing on a microphone is kind of a different animal, low key, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And singing with a band, dude, I find myself like if you can't hear yourself in the mix, then you start singing harder.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
You start
obviously
pushing
gets
it.
worse, yes. And you're just not thinking about it because everything's so loud. It's just it took me a while to figure that out.
No, I
Still
feel
getting
that.
working on it. You know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
even just playing, like, it's different than sitting in a basement with a PA is like, you know,
Yeah.
right below that, and you go, okay, I know what this sounds like, but then
Mhm.
you're in a basement, you know. But you
Absolutely.
go play at a gig, and the amount of acoustics, and you're just like, whoa, how do I
Yes.
hear myself? And none of
Can't
us,
hear shit.
well, none of us use monitors, in-ear monitors, you
We're
know.
not
It's all
big enough.
just rock
Yeah.
and roll.
It pretty much. I don't know if I'd love to try the ear monitors, but they're expensive, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they cost a lot.
And I've heard that sound guys don't really like it when you show up with them. You know what I mean? They're like kind of
Yeah,
like, fuck.
I would see that.
They're like this
definitely.
fucking guy. But 40 Watt, every time I've played there, it's well, I guess it's because we're tiny bands, but you know, sound isn't of the most importance when it's just like a couple little college
No.
bands on a Friday night. You know what I
No, they just kind of go, oh, levels, you know, mics,
mean? Yeah.
guitars. Okay, not screeching over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
I
go.
mean, it's not bad. It's just something I noticed. I love playing there. It's a great venue.
Yeah, it's the best.
Do you have any plans for shows? That's where I was earlier.
Nah. So I mean, the whole thing with the pandemic is
Yeah, just in the
nobody
future, though,
has
maybe?
idea. Well, yeah, in the future, I'd
Yeah.
love to. I mean, I'd love to find some people to play
Yeah.
the stuff I've put together, I guess, on record.
Mhm.
We'll
It's
see
tough
where
to
that
find
goes.
people that are into the same exact kind of music as you, I think.
Yeah, especially for
Yeah.
in a band, you can find people that'll chat. Like obviously, you and I are talking about music and everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's hard to kind of sit down necessarily and formalize like exact lineup of people
Be
that
like,
have the
yes.
same vision or
Yes,
whatever for
absolutely.
it. So,
Very difficult. They make it seem really easy in like rock documentaries, you know what I mean? Like,
biopics, man.
yeah,
It's like you just walk down the street and hey, you want to be in a band? Yeah, let's be super famous. And
we were all in the same college dorm in the same room, and it turns out we all played music.
we all just magically had the same ability, same drive, same commitment. And then
like,
yeah,
well,
now
fuck.
we're sitting in our mansion. You're like, geez,
I
that
was
would
like,
be
well, fuck, I'm moving to a dorm room.
yeah, really.
And it's another thing that's tough that I figured out. It's tough, like me and you're both solo artists in
Mm-hmm.
essence, right? It's tough to get people, understandably, to be like, hey, I want you to pretty much support what I'm doing, and like you can be as much a part of it as you want. But
Right.
at the end of the day, it's my name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It's
understandable.
It's not a band in the sense of democratically everybody is the same
Yes,
thing. I mean, it's your name on your music.
absolutely.
Yeah, I totally get
And
that.
at the end of the day, you got to call the shots. But it's tough to find people that are willing to be a part of that. And that's understandable. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Everybody
right.
wants to do their own thing, just like you playing drums. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's the same thing as
Yeah.
I was sitting here going, oh, you know, I really just want to play my own songs and
Yeah.
sing them and play lead, and then there's three other people in the band. They're like, well, no, that's what we do. Like, if you want to be the drums, you can. I'm like, not anymore. I did for a long time, but
I'm sure you got some great experience from it, though.
oh, 100%. And it was the kind of chops building thing that really helped me with just you know, coming to a music town and going, okay,
Absolutely.
I think I can cut it, you
Yeah.
know, with the people, and this helps me go, I got to keep up. I got to be
Yeah,
on
I
top
gotta-
of my
gotta
skills.
keep time,
Yeah, I
gotta
got to
do
just
this.
do my best to play the best I can. And, that's,
And I'm sure it translates over to when you start singing and playing live.
I hope
Surely
so.
it does. Yeah, it's got to.
Hope so. I hope I learned something.
It took me a while to just this keeping time thing. I've been playing with myself, like playing by myself, like just guitar, for so long. I was like, well, damn, I really never had to really keep time until I started
Yeah.
playing with a drummer. I was
Yep.
like, fuck, maybe I should start playing with a metronome. But
Yeah.
well, the town I grew up in, there was like not many musicians, like very small towns.
Mhm.
So I don't know if where'd you say you grew up at?
Fayetteville. It's also a very small
Yeah.
town, like Peachtree City.
Were you in a lot of bands? I wasn't in any.
I was in, maybe I can classify a couple, like having a drummer and 2 guitar players.
Uh-huh.
So with no bass player.
Yeah.
I wasn't really finding my singing voice yet. So I
Yeah.
kind of sang, but not really. So we mainly just like jammed. I mean,
I know
that
what
was
you
the
mean.
only thing I can qualify as like a band
The
experience.
extent I've been in countless bands that never made it to the stage.
Yeah, air
you know what
quotes,
I mean?
yeah. No, totally.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all part of the process, though. That's why. Well, really, the first time I ever played and sang actually live was when I came to Athens a year ago. First gig.
Yeah.
I was amazed it went so well. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Damn, I might can actually do this."
Yeah, and take
Yeah.
it and do it. It's neat when you finally get an opportunity to run with it. You know?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I had to cancel 7 gigs when COVID happened, man. That was a real bummer.
Yeah, I
was
remember
hitting my
talking to you
stride.
about him. I think
Yeah,
we in March.
We had a bunch of stuff going on, like little festivals that was happening with school, and we were gonna go to Atlanta, we are gonna go to Milledgeville, we're gonna go
That's
to
cool,
Statesboro.
man.
I know we're gonna have a little tour, and then that got canceled. But what's crazy is right now, Athens is on lockdown because I guess it's
totally.
a college town. But places like Augusta and Milledgeville, they're like just shows everywhere, shows every weekend.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of weird. I was in Augusta or North Augusta last weekend, and I went to this place called Southbound Smokehouse, saw a band play, and it was great. Like just to see it again.
Yeah, just some live.
Nobody was like out there
playing.
like raging, pushing each other around, but it was
No mosh
cool to be
pits.
like. It had me wondering. I was like, man, when's the soonest I could start playing again?
Yeah,
I was like,
I think
it
the
seems like this
question-
shit might not end till 2021. You know what I mean?
Well, most shows are pushed like big, like
Yeah.
concert tours. I had some tickets over the summer, and I've talked to most people about that are music fans, and for some reason, this happened to unfortunately be the summer that everybody had their concert bucket list lined up.
Yeah,
Like they're
it
like,
was
oh, I'm
insane.
seeing 6 bands, and
Yep.
this is their final tour. Blah, this is the greatest summer ever, and then it's all cut.
Just gone. Yeah. What'd you have
Yeah.
tickets for?
Well, my girlfriend actually got us tickets to see Ringo Starr, which
Oh,
I'm
shit.
a huge Beatles fan.
I had
and
no idea he was still touring.
Yeah, he was doing a tour and coming to Atlanta, and it was in June, I think. And yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
such a
What
bummer when it
venue?
got pushed.
Tabernacle?
No, it was big. I think
Is
it
it
was
huge?
the Energy, whatever, is it Gwinnett Energy Center or something?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty big place.
Okay.
I mean,
Damn, that's
he's a
sweet.
Beatle, He's a Beatle.
A living, breathing Beatle. That's crazy, man.
But it's 2021 now, so
yeah, it
it's
seems
pushed
like
back,
it. And not just 2021, the summer of.
the
you know what I
summer
mean?
of 2021. Yeah, no,
Which
I know.
is depressing, man. I'm ready for this shit to be over. You know what I mean?
I am too.
I'm kind of just a little bit. I kind of wish we could go to class sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
I love to Zoom some days.
Yeah.
But some days I'm like, man, I'd love to just go in and just like fucking chat with some people. You know what I mean?
just have that experience
Yeah.
back. Yeah, it's definitely something I didn't think I would miss. I never thought I would say, God, I miss going to class
Exactly.
and walking on campus and annoying bus stops.
Exactly.
But it's weird.
Yes, I'm like, fuck, what I do to just go like sit around in class, maybe chill in Terry for a little while and just like sit around. You know what I mean? I
Just
don't know.
sit there. Yeah, you
Just
could.
maybe interact with some humans. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that was definitely influential in starting the podcast. I was like, maybe I can talk to some people. It'll be really fun. It'll be fun. as
Human
hell.
interaction. Exactly. This is probably the most human interaction I've had in the past week.
Pretty
to be
much,
honest.
man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, wait, do you have the option to go in for any of your classes?
The only class I could possibly go in is once a week on Thursdays for Tom Lewis's class,
Oh, okay.
production. So I
Yeah.
can go in on Thursday, but I can either Zoom on Tuesday or not go in.
Okay.
So I'm actually excited about that because
Yeah, are
that's
you gonna go in
hands-on and-
sometimes?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go
Definitely.
in tomorrow because it's the only class I think I'm going
Yeah.
in, and it's like 9 people,
Yeah,
and
okay.
we're distanced and masks, and we're being. I think it's really safe, and I hope so at least.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Tom. I talked to him the other day actually. Yeah, you need to go in for that. That's such a great class.
That's
I'm
what
sure
I'm
you'll
saying.
enjoy
I
it,
really
yeah.
didn't want to be robbed of that
Yeah, that
that
experience.
one day a week, even just
Absolutely.
of working at the console and stuff.
And what was I gonna say? I have one class that I go in for as well. Like it's an option, they have to make it
Yeah, yeah.
optional. And I was like, I signed up for one, and then this morning I was like, man, I don't really want to go right now. So I was like, man, I could just Zoom right now because it was raining, you know.
Right,
And
right.
when it's raining, I was like, oh no. But any other day, I'm like, man, I'd love to go to class right now.
Yeah, I totally understand. The Zoom calling is nice though when I have 3 classes in a row
Yeah.
and I would have been running
Yeah.
around campus hot August, you know, sweating and crammed, and now it's just like,
In a bus with 200 kids and all
oh
that.
God. You know what's funny to me is looking back on the bus system
Uh-huh.
pre-COVID and
Yeah,
thinking
it's
like,
terrible.
well, we never thought about it back
Never.
then, but you remember being crammed in those bus in front of
Like,
Tate. I
Yes.
mean, literally, you can't move your arms.
Like literally, you had to take your backpack off, and people are shoulder to shoulder, like piling on still. They're like,
oh yeah,
still
and they're
getting
saying get on, and they're breathing. I mean, they're breathing all over you,
Yes,
and
dude,
you don't even think about
That's
it back
what I'm
then.
saying. Like, can we ever do that again?
I don't think my brain will ever feel comfortable with that ever again.
Dude, that really was like a cesspool. Like, people,
Yeah.
like, dude, they didn't have no limits on them buses, man.
Absolutely
they didn't care
not.
if you could get on there, if you could fit, he
You
would
could
let you on.
squeeze. They were like, yeah, sure, as long as the
That's
door
crazy,
closes
man.
and your face is firmly
Yes.
pressed against the
Oh,
glass.
man. Like Hot for Teacher music video, man.
Yeah,
you know what I
just
mean?
like that. I've seen. Yeah, I used to
Oh,
watch
God.
that video all the
Dude,
time.
I used to watch all their videos. Like, when I was a kid and just playing guitar, it was like all I watched was music videos. You know what I mean?
Van Halen was a big thing for me when I was in
Yeah,
middle
I'm
school.
glad to hear that. You told me that. I freaking love Van Halen, so I
Yeah.
love to hear that.
It was a big thing, man.
What's your favorite record, Van Halen?
Okay, my favorite Van Halen record is Fair Warning.
Round of applause for my
Favorite
dude right
record.
here. The guitar album.
Oh, dude, it's the guitar album. It's the one that's so not obscure, but like it's
It's-
probably like lowest selling
Yeah,
or
it
something.
is for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the most underappreciated.
Exactly.
There's so many good tracks on there, dude.
Hear About It Later.
Hear About It Later is probably my favorite.
I adore, and my dad loved that record. That was
Yeah.
a big thing. Is he would show it
It's
to
got
me.
such a dark cover, like really angry.
yeah,
It's,
Dirty Movies.
Yeah, Dirty Movies is a great one. Push Comes to Shove is one of my
Yep.
favorites. That's like a weird like jazz kind
Yeah,
of thing.
very cool.
Unchained is probably my favorite riff of all
Love that
time,
song.
arguably. That's a great
So This
riff.
Is Love is also. on
Yeah,
that
so this is
record?
that was
Yeah.
the single, and it didn't do well.
No.
That's still a good
That's a
track,
great
though.
song,
Yeah,
though.
it really
Yeah.
is.
upbeat.
Yeah, it really is, and it's surprising that it didn't do well. You probably watched it. They have a live. It's not on Spotify, unfortunately, but there's a live filming of them at the Oakland Coliseum. They play that record. It's on that tour.
Yeah,
You've
it's
seen
in
it, I'm sure,
81,
yeah.
Oakland. Right?
Yeah, it's
I've
a
seen
really
that.
great live recording of them
Yeah,
because a lot of their live recordings aren't that great. You know, Dave's running around so much he can't sing or whatever. But
exactly.
that was part of the thing. It did. You talk to anybody who saw them back in the day, they're like, dude, they were awesome.
Oh, it's like the great.
Yeah.
They say it was fantastic, and
Yes.
he was on. Eddie was on fire.
Yeah,
from what
man.
I can see.
And it always sounds like he's kind of out of tune when I listen to him live. You ever notice that?
Yeah, a
He
little
tuned to
bit.
his own kind of thing, I think. I don't know. They say his B string was flat or something. Like he'd always tune down a little bit.
Tuned down. Yeah, well, they always. I know they're good. When I used to play their songs, learning guitar, they're half a step down.
Yeah, all of them.
So
are,
I
right?
wonder if tuning half step down kind of messed with his guitar, like tuning stability.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's a
but-
Floyd Rose, so God knows. But I never tune half step down. Do you?
no, I'm a standard tuning guy.
Yeah, me
I
too.
used to when I actually used to have a Gibson Explorer
Did you?
in that era. I
You
had a
sold it?
wine red
Oh,
Gibson Explorer with gold knobs,
oh, nice.
and yeah, I sold it when I got a Les Paul.
Damn it, man! I
And
love
that's
the freaking
That's
Explorer.
my guitar
man.
now.
I love everything about it except for carrying it around. Like the case
It's
is
a pain.
fucking huge.
It looks like a keyboard case.
It does. It really
Yeah.
does. And it's heavy, and like you can't exactly swing around with like worrying about your fin
No.
hitting something.
No, yeah, exactly.
But the reason I got it, I was like, man, if I get up there with an Explorer, I have to put a show on. I can't just sit up there with the Explorer and just like
no,
just
you gotta
like stand
rock out
still.
with
You know
it.
what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta like jump around and do shit. So
It's like having a flying V.
yeah, I like the Flying V too. The reason I didn't get the Flying V was well, I don't like them as much, but like you can't sit down and play them.
I was
You know
gonna
what I
say,
mean?
yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, unless you put it like over your leg. You know, if
Really?
you put your leg in the V and have it kind of like upright, like a classical
Okay.
guitar, you can actually
Oh,
make
that
it
makes
work.
sense. I never thought about that.
But
I've
you
never played
traditionally
one.
can't do it, which
Yeah.
is weird.
I like the Karina wood ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like
that's
how they
the
used to make
classic.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are really sweet.
And to think those came out in like 1958 or
Yeah,
something.
it's crazy. Those are so nice, man.
It's crazy.
Yes, and they'd all have like they'd all be that color, you know. And they'd have the gold, the
Gold stuff on
yeah,
it,
the
the
gold
hardware.
hardware. Those
Yeah.
are sweet. I think Eddie
Futuristic.
played one on Hot for Teacher. Have you heard that?
No, I have not. That's
It's-
very cool though.
It's like a '60s Flying V. That's that color, and that's what he played on Hot for Teacher.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's why there's no tremolo bar stuff on it.
Ah,
Yeah, fun fact. I'm just a
that
Van
would make
Halen
sense.
nut.
Yeah, I
We
can
can talk about
no,
Van Halen all day.
I know, man.
I'm really
can
glad
tell.
you said Fair Warning because I love that record. I have that one on vinyl.
I do too. That was one
and
of my.
Another thing about vinyl, just to hop back there right quick. something's cool about vinyl when you inherit it. Like I kind of like having actual
Yeah.
old vinyl. Does that make sense?
Oh, I don't buy any new vinyl.
Yeah, you don't buy any
No, no, no,
like
no.
reissues. I have ordered some. I actually ordered, I think it was Van Halen 1 reissue because that was the only one I was missing. And it didn't work. Like I got it and it was skipping like a motherfucker and it was new. I was
Sometimes
like,
they do
man.
bad pressings. It's weird because I only buy new vinyl if I can't conceivably get my hands on a copy of it, like an obscure old record
Yes,
that
absolutely.
was kind of like a cult following record. You know, if there was only 10,000 copies made,
Yeah, that makes
I'm not
sense.
spending $400 on one copy, so I'll pay $30 and get a repress. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
the most widely, loved records, you can get a copy for 20,
Seems
30
like
bucks.
it. Yeah, if they've sold a couple million copies, there's a used one in
Oh,
the
of
record
course.
store somewhere.
And it sounds better.
It does, it does. And there's something about it when you open it up and like the little wrapper that the record comes in, you know what I mean?
The sleeve.
Yeah, the
dust
sleeve, that's it.
sleeve,
And
yeah.
it'll be all wrinkled and shit, and they'll just have cool little pictures on it and printed in
Yep.
that old paper. I think stuff like that's really cool.
Well, and it's funny because I don't see not that I don't see the point, but it's funny to me when like they digitally remaster old records and then they press it onto new vinyl, and it's like if you want that pristine sound,
Yeah.
then listen to Spotify or like
Gotcha.
digital to me.
I don't get the remaster. I mean, I get the remaster for like sound purposes, like the sound wall gets louder.
Right.
But I don't get like when bands remaster something and they try to push it harder. Like they're like, "Oh, here's the brand new remaster. You should buy this record now." Like,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? It's just louder. Like it's probably sounds the same. Like they should be able to remaster it and you just not know. Like you know what I mean? Like just bring the volume up.
Well,
like,
and if digital remastering sometimes on
Yeah.
analog records can sound bad
yeah,
because
that
it's
makes
pushing
sense.
for a different
That
medium,
makes
and
sense.
so if there's a repressing in something that's done on analog equipment,
Uh-huh.
I've had some good luck with that, but
Yeah.
I hate digital compressed
Yeah, you can
sounding
hear it.
records.
And Spotify really doesn't sound that good.
No,
I didn't notice it until David Barbie told me that, but you can hear it. And Spotify does not sound as good as a CD, even. You know what I mean?
no, yeah,
It's like the loudness wall they had and everything.
but it's the vinyl thing is like if somebody wants that pristine like no noise,
Mm,
like I guess clear,
Yeah.
digital sound, then to me that's not even the point of vinyl.
that makes sense.
So that's
yeah.
kind of how I've always
Why
felt
would you
about
want the remastered, or like why would you not want the original?
it. Exactly.
There's definitely something special about it. I don't know if did you inherit any or you?
I inherited a ton.
Yeah,
But I've
okay.
also like bought a ton. But
Yeah.
yeah, I inherited a lot.
I really like it. I don't know if your parents did this, but like they would cut the clear wrapper and leave it on there.
Leave
You know what
the
I'm talking
shrink
about?
wrap. Yeah,
Yes, dude.
yeah.
Like we don't do anything like that. Like they kind of had it go, and they're like, "Oh, we got to protect these kind of."
They
know what I
kept
mean?
well, and some of them were beat up. Like I have some copies
Yeah.
of like easily. My parents had very different music tastes. Like my dad was obviously like rock stuff. My mom would listen to 80s and pop
Yeah.
and stuff. But you could tell the differences. Some of the records were so good they overlapped. Like they both would own a copy.
Yes, I know.
So
exactly
I get two
what you
copies.
mean. Yes,
But you could tell one copy was my dad's, and it was
Yep.
just beat to shit. And the other copy was my mom's, and it's like
Pristine,
yeah, the shrink
yes.
is cut left on there,
Dude,
pristine record.
That's
I was like,
so
thanks,
funny
Mom.
that you say that, man. Because like I had the exact same thing. Like I have like doubles of a couple like John Cougar Mellencamp records and Tom Petty records. 'Cause my
Yeah.
mom and my dad had them, and then they
Yep.
got married, and they put their record collection
Together.
together, and then I fucking got it, and it's just like yes.
Yeah, like Cheap Trick,
Yeah, I have
Budokan,
that one, yeah.
that double. I got double of
think
like
I have that one.
by
Mhm.
John Mellencamp.
Yeah, I have that one with him on the front, like standing
Yeah,
funny.
yep.
Yep, I have two of that. And it's always the big records, like the ones that got some miles on them. Like
Oh,
huge
millions of
records.
copies.
Yeah,
Everybody had
yeah.
one. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
awesome.
yeah.
I think one of my favorite ones I have on vinyl is the Blue Eagles record, the greatest hits one.
The
You know what I'm talking about?
1971, 75.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a certain
Yep.
date, and
I love that one.
they say it's the best sung record of all time now. I was like, hell yeah, that's cool. I have
I
like
would
an
believe it.
original,
Yeah.
kinda. And it's just stacked front to back with Eagles classics.
That's my. I have all the Eagles records except for that one.
Really?
Because I've always was
Yeah.
like, oh, I have them also, but then
Yeah.
I need that one because the track listing is just
It's so great.
it's perfect. It's like every
That's-
song is
That's
just
true.
perfect.
That's another thing to be said about vinyl is when it comes to me buying one, it like a side is important to me. Like sometimes if there's only one good single on each side, I'm not gonna buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want it to be a good side that I can turn on, and listen
Beginning to
You know
end.
what I mean?
Yeah.
At least one good side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I buy some records that break that rule, but or if I don't know or whatever, but it says something when a side is really good. And I think they used to organize songs different. Like it seems like they didn't care about the hit song being first sometimes.
No, it would be like thrown
Yeah.
down there in the middle or at the end somewhere.
They're like, oh, this
yeah.
is the first track. We can expose them to something that's not a single. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nowadays it seems like the single is always the first track, which is understandable. You know what I mean? It gets them to the
Yeah.
point. And I didn't do it on my EP, but I'd probably do it on the next one, just because I noticed that the first song got a lot more streams,
Got more
kind of.
streams.
And I kind of wondered if it's just because it was a better song or if it was because it was first.
People click on it and then they listen or they change. I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Makes me wonder.
The artistic part of me is like, nah, man,
Don't.
throw it wherever it fits. But then there's like, I guess every one of us should. I say should because we all should, I guess, have a business side that's like, no, but I
Yeah.
don't know. It depends which one wins out for you.
Those records seem to be, I mean, like, have you thought about mastering a lot? I've been thinking about mastering a lot lately, like transitions on songs, and like maybe I shouldn't fade in and out of every song or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
Like,
just sound like volume level
yes.
between
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
You don't think about it till you get to near the end of a record, but you're like, whoa, how many seconds do I need on the end of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And like maybe I shouldn't let that feedback hang for 20 seconds. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
One thing I've struggled with is arrangement. Do you ever worry about how long your songs are? And
It depends.
you know what I mean? I find myself, I guess
What do you usually like? What's your usual average?
my usual is probably 4.5 minutes.
Say I would say that's
Yeah.
like a medium length song, but that's a normal
I think so.
amount.
It's just I get to thinking about it too hard sometimes, and I'm like, should I change the arrangement to make it more like 3 minutes 10 seconds? You know what I mean? To make it more like, will it be more effective if it's shorter?
Yeah,
But
I
like,
see
I
what
think
you're
I just
saying.
think about it too hard. You know what I mean? I guess the algorithms got me all freaked out.
The way of thinking.
Yeah, the like
Instagram
2 minute
model. To
yeah,
life.
the 2 minute 30-second songs got me freaked out. I've never been able to fit a song into that much. Have you?
Well, I was gonna say it's funny because just depending. I used to when I was younger. I wrote longer songs, and
Yeah.
now all the songs on this record that I'm doing, the longest song on the record is actually like 4.5 minutes,
Really?
and the shortest one is right under 3. So
Okay.
I usually
That's
kind
about
of
fair.
I tend to write in the 3 to 4 range
Yeah.
for some
I
reason.
feel like
I don't
that's
know
all
why.
fair game in there.
Yeah.
I've tried. I've been like, okay, I'm about to sit down and try to write one of these pop songs. That's 2.5 minutes. I just can't do it, man. I don't know
You
what
gotta
it
think
is.
like an early Beatles song, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like
straight to it.
first chorus,
Yeah.
slam in there. There's like a quick George Harrison solo for like 10
Yes,
seconds.
Yes,
you
super
know?
simple. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
great songs though.
Yeah, and it depends. It just depends what you're going for. I think there's a nice, like the Eagles is a good example. Is all of their songs are probably
Barely.
the shortest 4.5,
Yeah.
4:45 to 5 minutes. I mean, Hotel California's
Steaming. What's
6,
7?
and a half,
Yeah.
7. I mean, it's
It
long.
doesn't seem like it though if it's a great
No,
song. You know what I
no,
mean?
No,
But
exactly.
sometimes I will say like I'll go to a song on Spotify. It's only on Spotify. I'll be like, I don't know if I want to hear 8 minutes of something right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear Champagne Supernova or Freebird right now. You know what I mean? Like those are
Champagne
long
Supernova.
songs. That's
Great
a great
song.
song.
And
Great
it's very
song.
long. And the thing is, some people like are even like, oh, it's repetitive. It is. But the thing
It's
is,
great.
it works.
Yeah,
and
it
when
works
you
so
get
great.
a long song that's repetitive and works, that's
You know
when you
it's good.
struck gold.
You know it's good. And they're just going for glory right there, man. Those choruses in that song are huge. When I don't know how to describe it. Well, there's two choruses, kind of. Damn it, I don't want to sing it, but you know what I mean. When it
yeah.
opens up, that's such a great song. I actually am posting a cover of that tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I have it all filmed and
Dude.
everything. Yeah.
When I discovered that song, it was one of the, I don't know if you do this, but I listen to songs on repeat when I discover
Oh,
them.
I do too.
Like,
Yeah, I wear
as
them
it
out.
ends, it plays again. Ends,
Yeah.
it plays again. And I'll do it for days or weeks or months even. And that song, my girlfriend will laugh if she hears this because I probably made her want to jump out the window because I played it over and over and over and over again. And I just loved it. It
It's
just
so
hit
great, man.
me in this really deep
Yes.
place that I could not get away from that
Yes,
song.
I know exactly what you mean. I've been on trips with guys, and they're like, "Dude, stop playing this fucking song." I'm like, "It's so good though."
No,
And,
it's classic.
The thing about it though is like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I have no clue, but it's so great.
Faster than a cannonball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Slowly walking down a hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? He said he doesn't even know what it means. That's
Well,
what I'm
I
saying
saw
to
a
that.
thing he did the
Yeah.
other day where he did like a Noel Gallagher like takes on Instagram, Twitter,
Uh-huh.
and like Reddit accounts, and he would make an account, say it's him, and he would answer questions these people had, and people
bet
were
that's
like
hilarious.
on Yahoo answer. Well, it's hilarious because he's
Yeah,
his dry
he's
wit.
him.
He's just kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like his response to a Yahoo answer was like, "What is Champagne Supernova about?" He's like, "I don't bloody know. I mean, it's just I just wrote it when I wrote it, and I don't really know. And here I am now, and it's just the same." And you're like, yeah, man, I
well
totally,
put.
like, good for you.
That's a good answer. 'Cause I truly believe that he has just no idea, which is interesting. It's like they just come out of nowhere sometimes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I say this probably on every podcast, but the best ones always just write themselves.
Yeah,
They
man.
just come out of nowhere. Boom, you don't have to try that hard, and it happens. You know what I mean?
And you don't really know how to explain
Yeah.
what it's
You don't
about.
know what happened.
Mhm.
It's just there. And whenever one of those happens, I'm like, whoa, like whoa, noted.
Noted and yeah, kept and recorded on the
Yes.
voice memos.
But the ones that I'm fucking straining on for 9 months, I'm like, maybe this one isn't that great.
Yeah, that's
But
kind of the
sometimes
true
they're
test.
good.
Sometimes
they're good.
you really takes hard work to get it out, and it's really worth it.
Mhm.
Sometimes you work all that and you go, like you said, like, wow, that was.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't spent all that time on it. And other times they just.
But it gets you to the
magically.
next song. I mean, each song just gets you to the next song. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like production wise, songwriting wise, playing it live. Like when I started playing live last semester or whatever, it became pretty clear to me that there's a certain kind of song that does better live. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe my piano ballad when I'm an unknown artist pretty much isn't going to do so hot in a 40 watt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I want to keep it upbeat for the kind of show I want to do. So
Totally.
I took all that in and started writing more upbeat. You know what I mean? Like each
Yeah.
song just gets you to the next one. I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, my best song is going to be my next song. It just
Yeah,
always will be.
that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Just always will be.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah,
you know?
and I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I think it's
No.
true, man.
I would agree. I would agree with the upbeat is definitely. It depends where you're playing. If you're playing at, I can't even think of a good example, but like Hendershots or
Yeah.
something, or like some place that's like they play jazz or they play anything else. It's like you can pretty much have free artistic range, do whatever you want. But yeah, 40 watt or
It's just a
flicker.
certain, like if you're trying to keep a certain energy level, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's noted. That's been learned. Have you saw that? Speaking of Hendershots, have you saw that they're doing a virtual thing every night? Have you ever played Hendershots?
No, I've never played. I've been there and to watch stuff and jams, and I love it.
I played. Yeah, it's awesome. I played there the night before or 2 days before my Flickr show, which is my first show ever.
Oh,
I was like,
cool.
I got to go play somewhere just so I'm not nervous. And like I
Yeah,
just went
yeah.
me and the guitar and I played like "Live Forever" by Oasis. And
Very
I played,
cool. Yeah.
I played one of my songs and that was it. And they're doing it online. Like you record your video, and you send it in,
cool.
and you sign up for a slot. I'll send you a thing if you want to sign up because
it'd be
it'd be
great.
pretty easy. You know, play your song, play another song, and just record it. And I think that's a cool way to do things.
Yeah,
I
where
mean,
the
I'm
people
down
are
for it.
trying to get things
Yeah.
together during the quarantine.
Are you on to the live stream? Have you done any live streams?
I haven't. Well, the thing is, like, I very recently, like, literally when I put that single out was the first time I kind of launched my
Your
artistic,
persona, yeah.
creative
Yeah.
endeavor as a musician, solo
Gotcha.
artist. So no, I mean, I that one
congratulations, by the
single.
way.
Thanks, but
That's a huge step.
I'm green. So I mean, I haven't done any live streaming.
Yeah, I haven't got into it either. Something about it makes me nervous. I don't know. Like I'd rather just play live almost.
It'd be cool though.
Some people are killing it.
Out.
You know what I mean? Like they're doing these things. My buddy does this. What's they call it? Quarantine karaoke on Facebook. Have you heard of it?
No, that's cool though.
It's like they don't play it, but they pull up the karaoke for the song and they just sing along. And he's getting like fucking 10, 20,000 views on these things and like 100 comments and tip jars and all that stuff. And they're
Internet's
killing it.
a crazy place with those things.
Yeah, people are adapting really well with it. I didn't do any yet. I want to do some. I want to get into it.
You should. I'd say you should do it.
We should both do one. It'd be fun. I mean,
we
you
can
just
do a live
play your
stream.
set list. You know what I mean? It'd be acoustic, maybe a tambourine. I love a tambourine. I talked about this on the last podcast. I'm talking about the same shit, but I love a tambourine, don't you?
Oh,
Like,
dude,
I love
tambourines
it.
can bring a song together.
Yeah, I really
you just kinda
do.
jamming in the background.
Yes, and like even when I do a song to a click, going back to what we said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
if I do a tambourine, I don't ever use a sample. I always track it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just because
me
it
too.
has a different flow to it for sure. It
Yeah.
has an actual vibe, kind of, sort of.
Well, and that's funny when the click thing is obviously like, no one's timing is perfect.
Mhm,
Like, which
yeah.
I love that about music
That's
and
great,
playing without
yeah.
a click. But there are times when, of course, I'll like make a mistake or something, and then I'll layer all the stuff over. I'm like, okay, so I could like nudge this little thing a little
Uh-huh.
bit. Sometimes I'll throw a tambourine over that.
Yeah.
And playing to yourself with the tambourine, like the more rhythm you add,
It gives it
it doesn't necessarily like fix the mistake, but it just kind of gives it more cohesion.
makes it understandable.
Yeah, it feels like a band playing.
Yeah.
Maybe you're half a second off when you hit the tambourine or the drummer. The snare hit is just a little
Yeah.
behind, but it sounds like a live band,
That's awesome. That's a good way to think of it. I've never really thought of using a tambourine like that.
And it just adds, cohesion is a good word for that.
One thing I was thinking about just recently is like, I wonder if the mistakes that I hear in my records sound on purpose to other people. You notice that?
Yeah, that's a
There's
good
probably
question.
mistakes in like every record we hear to them. You know what I mean? But to the untrained eye, we're like, damn, that's kind of cool that he does that right there.
That's
you know what I mean?
Point. Yeah, I kind of wondered when you start recording. I definitely like putting a song out, going, okay, I know there's a mistake here, or something, and no one notices it.
Yeah.
And you go, well, man, how many other records have I just hailed? From the past 50 years, it's like, perfect, flawless masterpieces. There's a mistake in there that I'm not even hearing. That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I just eventually, I was like, man, I gotta fucking stop focusing on like every little thing that's out of time or something. Like, like just enjoy the record. Like it's okay. You know what I mean? Like nobody else cares.
For the ride.
Yeah.
They do
for sure. Like all those old Stones record and Van Halen records and Beatles record. There's mistakes.
Oh, there's
obviously
mistakes
you can hear them. I mean. And you don't care. It sounds great, yeah.
Well, and the feel, like a guitar take that's kind of sloppy but gets the feel across, to me kicks ass 10 times out of 10 more than the perfect, rhythmic take or whatever.
And I'm not against the like everything being on time. Like if I listen to some pop music, it's cool that like everything's like super produced or whatever. But like I've never quantized anything. Have you? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what quantizing is. I don't dig that.
I would rather play it again.
Well, and it takes the feel thing. Even that's the thing is, I'd rather nudge something even if something's a little out, or like just splice the take together. I messed up this part of the drum, splice another part, then quantize, because the quantizing, it takes the human element out of the playing.
Have you seen these videos on YouTube? I don't know how big you are on YouTube, but there's this guy named Rick Beato. You ever heard of him?
I love Rick.
Yeah,
Beato.
He's fucking awesome.
I watch his videos all the time,
he's
man.
He's so
I
great.
follow on Instagram too.
Yeah. He's huge. If you're listening to this, you should definitely look at Rick Beato.
What makes this song great?
Yeah, what makes this song great? Those are awesome. He did one. He like quantized a Led Zeppelin song or something.
Did he really?
And he was like,
you can't quantize Bonzo.
Yeah. He's like, you see how this just fucking ruins this song? You know what I mean? Like there is something special about the way it was. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a really good watch. I think it's called What Would Happen If You Quantized Bonzo. I think that's actually what
John
it's called.
Bonham, yeah.
And it's a good watch.
A travesty.
Yeah,
is what would happen.
It's hilarious. He's so intelligent, and I don't know where he gets these stems at, but I wish I could get all these fucking stems.
The Pro Tools file. Yeah, he's just going through and he's soloing, Full in the Rain drums or something, and you're like, how did you find this?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I've never even heard that part of the song, and I never would have known it if I hadn't watched this video, but it sounds so great now that I know it.
Exactly.
So many layers on those records that are just fantastic.
They did sometimes it's too overkill, but a lot of great records, when you realize how many things are layered on them, it's just, it's amazing,
It really
it's
is.
like an orchestra.
And it just fits so well. I had a problem of my last couple songs I was doing. I was like, fuck, I'm putting too much shit in here. I was like, at the end of the day,
overkill. No.
I'm like, I'm listening to these songs on the radio, or like I hear like Jump. You know what I mean? It's just the piano, the bass, the drums, and it's like there's room for everything.
Right.
I was like, maybe I don't need to layer 2 acoustic guitars, 2 clean guitars, and 2 distorted guitars for this song. Like maybe I should just leave some room for some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it makes it easier to mix, and the vocals sound better, and just it kind of pans out nice.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It depends on how the arrangement, certain songs really need it, and you can't hear them without that.
Absolutely.
Other ones, it's like, no, it's just an electric guitar or an acoustic, a tambourine.
Some songs could definitely use some layers. You know what I mean? Like I listened to a song today. Is the Let It Bleed Rolling Stones album. You can't always get what you want.
Oh yeah,
that song has a lot of shit going on.
Exactly. Well, there's a choir in the background, and you don't even think, oh man, there's a choir, drums, bass, guitar, and organ. It's like no, it's it.
That's a great record and a great song. That song's probably 7 minutes. I bet.
I think it is.
There's a piano. There's acoustic guitars. There's all kind of shit. It's awesome. It sounds great. It sounds mixed wonderfully. That's probably arguably my favorite Stones record. I've been listening to a lot of Stones lately. What's your favorite?
My favorite Stones record or Stones song?
Both. That's a tough grab, I know.
I don't know, but for me, probably Exile on Main Street.
That's a great one.
It's a double, and it's just so much stuff. Yeah, and the name is great, and the recording of it done in like a house in France.
It's
just so cool.
They said it was in like a muddy studio, you know what I mean, downstairs, and there's like videos of them. They said they wouldn't start recording until 2 a.m. Shit,
it's just jamming,
just crazy, man.
High on coke.
I think, probably, and other stuff.
Yeah,
for Keith, I think isn't Brown Sugar on that record?
I'm not sure if it's on that one or Sticky Fingers. I think it might be on Sticky Fingers. You know the one where it's the pants in the front, the leather pants.
That's a cool record cover.
And I like that record as well.
That's a great one.
My favorite Stones song, though, to get back to that, probably it's hard, but probably without a doubt would be Honky Tonk Women.
Oh man, that's a banger, dude. The flow in that one is so great, man.
Yeah, it's just perfect. You know.
Have you watched the Stones documentary that's on Netflix?
Or it's Crossfire Hurricane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Great.
There's a part in there when it is great. There's a part in there when Keith says he's like I think anybody could have written any of our other songs, but me and Mick were the only ones that could have wrote Honky Tonk Women. I was like, I could see. I was like, I don't know if anybody else could have wrote that.
I mean, there's you can just go down the list.
Definitely a great song, like a seminal,
oh yeah,
marquee moment for them. I think mine is maybe Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Oh, that's another I adore that song.
Yeah, that's a great one.
My question, this is a big question.
Hit me with it.
Okay, ready? I asked this to everybody. Beatles or Stones?
Yikes. Personally, for me, I understand either one is super acceptable. I think Beatles is the easier choice. You know what I mean? I feel like more people will pick Beatles out of that. But for me, it's the Stones because the catalog's longer, and I like everything they did almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just for me, Stones. You Beatles, man?
I'm a Beatles
That's
fanatic.
completely understandable. I
like the Stones, but I think the Beatles just are unparalleled.
I could see that for sure, man. Definitely, they got a lot done really quick. You know what I mean? Their run really wasn't that long, was it?
Well, I mean, I think as a band they might have been together 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think recorded output was started in '63. I think 7 years.
7 years
Total
That's
to do 14 records.
You know what I mean? That's a shit ton.
You're getting an album a year, sometimes a double, like the White Album.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not putting the singles on there. You know what I mean? Like they used to release just singles. That's crazy.
It's it's all the marketing. It's the business mind.
It's crazy how it changes.
You got if you want the new Beatles record, you got to buy the record and the single.
That's true, man. That's smart, man. Because that's so wild. I don't think Jumpin' Jack Flash or that's Stones, but you know what I mean? Like all those
Honky
singles.
Tonk Women.
Yeah, they were never on an album.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck.
I got some compilation like Hot Rocks.
Yeah,
which has got all it's a double record. It's got pretty much everything from '64 to I think '71. You know, that's the one that has all the silhouette pictures with the hair and stuff.
All of them together.
That's like a good thing. Or you've got some other weird like compilation records, but other than that, they weren't on like a studio album.
That's kind of crazy. That your hit single you wouldn't attach it because now you always attach it just for the sales. You know what I mean? Just to go towards your platinum status or whatever. But that's wild. They used to do that. Are greatest hits records gonna die? I think they are, right? Like, what's the point in making one anymore?
I guess there's not a point because people can go on the internet and make a playlist.
Yeah.
So why would you even put a greatest hits out?
That's good. I never thought about that until right now. But greatest hit records might never happen. You know what I mean?
Dude, you know what? No, we should both make a point. Even though, now, I'll just make a greatest hits record. I have no hits, but I'll make a greatest hits record just to make a point that greatest hits records are awesome.
They're back. I like buying greatest hits record when I was a kid. I was like, oh shit, I can get everything I want right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love an actual great album, but
of course.
There's nothing wrong with the greatest hits record.
Well, the Eagles one is a great record in its own right. If you never owned any of the Eagles records and you owned their greatest hits one, you're just like, you're just like, wow, I can't believe all these would fit together.
This many good songs, and I think it's 6 years. I think it's 68 to 74.
Whatever.
And that was their first greatest hits record. You know what I mean? The second one's good too. I have it on vinyl.
Of course.
And I think it's got a record a picture of a record on the front.
Oh, it looks like a Target.
Yeah, a Target. That's it. Yeah, I have that one too. Both inherited. And I was like, dude, these are just fucking fantastic.
Well, of course.
And there's still more songs that you could throw on there. You know what I mean? A lot of missed action.
I love the Eagles so much.
What's your favorite Eagles record? Now we're just
doing favorite.
We're just ranting about bands now.
I'm here for that.
I'm good with
it. Probably. I mean, Hotel California is a great record.
Ooh,
you can't put it down, but probably my personal favorite is One of These Nights.
One of These. That's the one before Hotel
California.
Right before.
Yeah, it's like right on the. It's kind of like there's a record in every band's catalog that's right on the cusp of where they hit the big time, and it's almost as good or just as good, but it's overlooked a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of that record. It's got a lot of great songs on it, but
that's definitely a solid
Eyes
one.
And One of These Nights.
Oh, I love Lion Eyes. That's a fantastic song. Isn't that one that Felder was supposed to sing?
No.
Isn't that on
Visions.
I don't think.
Or no, you're talking about. I'm sorry. You're
It's
talking
Don
about.
Henley ended up singing it.
You're talking about "Victim of Love."
Victim of
But
Love.
I think that's on Hotel.
Oh, okay. You might
California.
be right. Maybe I'm a record off.
But that's a great song.
That is a great
Yeah.
song, man. Yeah, that guitar riff is sweet in that one.
Yep.
We
We should have you sing guitar riffs.
should. We
I'll
should.
throw out
We can make
guitar
a
riffs.
whole YouTube on that. I should have told you to bring your guitar. We could just jam for like 15 minutes and
That's
put it on
true.
here.
I could have brought it.
There's always next time.
Yeah,
There's
there
always
is.
Next time.
There very much is.
Well, we're 58 minutes in. What do you say we wrap this thing up? That's a good
Sounds man.
podcast.
Yeah,
Sound
that
good?
sounds good.
You have a good time, Josh?
Yeah, dude, I had a great time. Thank you for having me on
No
here.
problem, Josh. When should we expect your record? In the fall?
Well, I guess we're already in the fall, but the late fall. I'm
fall.
thinking like November.
November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good.
Well,
Artistic
thank you.
time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds productive. Thank you for coming on, my dude.
course, man.
What's your Instagram again, just so the people can follow you right now?
Yep. Radio Jane Music. So,
Beautiful.
yep.
Mine is at Jameson Tank 27. Thank you all for listening in. We're very glad if you made it this far. 58 minutes in. We're very proud you made it.
I'm very proud of.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you want us to talk about next. I'm sure we'll have Josh back sooner than later if he'll be back. But
I hope so.
sounds like a plan. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Swear